Welcome back to the Glacial Gold Hunter. You can see the ice age is back. Everything's all frozen up, and I didn't really want to be prospecting in this kind of weather, but I just can't help it. There's gold in the ground and I gotta get it. Now because everything's frozen up, my options are gonna be kind of limited. So I'm gonna have to walk around and hunt for open water, and hopefully there'll be some gold there. So here I found some open water. Now there's a lot of boulders and a lot of sand and gravels compacted around the boulders. So I'm gonna dig around and see if there happens to be a little gold here. If there is, we'll see how much we can get.
I'm coming home with 500 ounces.
You can see I got a mixture of big cobbles all the way down to fine sand. And I've always had good luck searching in this type of environment.
That's good stuff.
Now, there's definitely a lot of times I look at material like this and don't find anything, but when I do find gold, it's usually in material that looks like this. I don't know how the flower gold wizard does it. He uses bare hands. I gotta wear gloves. My hands are already cold. I'm seeing good amounts of black sand. That's a good sign. But is there gold? That's the question. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, there's good gold. You can see there's some nice pieces, 3 pieces right there. 2 more pieces there, and they're nice pieces too. I mean, clearly they're very tiny, but it doesn't take much to make me happy.
Gotta enjoy the little things.
Well, that's enough for me to just set up and start digging. However, I'm gonna test around a few other spots. For example, there's this bank right here, and I wanna dig down a little bit and see if I can run into a clay layer, because that could potentially be better gold. The ice limits a little bit how much I can test, but I'm gonna try a few more areas before I set up. Oh boy. Careful. This time I didn't put it in my classifier. Why? I don't know. I've had commenters say that it's faster when you don't classify. I think it's just personal preference. Maybe not, it does seem faster. Oh, there's a lot of black sand in that one little pan. And there's gold here too. About the same as the last spot. So that pan has 4 nice specks right there too. Wow. Look at this big piece of granite. Oh my gosh. Pretty red granite. Now there's a big hole. Let's see if there's any gold under it. Wow, it's pretty fine sand underneath that boulder. Maybe it's full of gold too. This is the sand underneath that boulder. Very fine. I mean, there's some coarse stuff there too, but lots of fines. I'm just gonna put that in my pan and speed pan it down. And now it's getting to be bigger cobbles again. So directly under that rock was fine sand. underneath deeper with big cobbles. And I see a few more specks than there were before, so there are a few specks underneath this rock. About the same amount as the first pan, I think. This will be pan number 3 from that hole. There's all 3 pans together. So those 3 pans all down into one. A lot of specks there. Whoa. Check that out. Two bucks and 2 does. You never know what you might see. You can still see some on the ridge there. Anyway, there's some good pieces of gold in that pan, and I think this is good material all throughout here, so I'm just going to start classifying buckets and collecting the gold. Prospecting's over, now we're going to start mining. Now right next to where I was digging is a great spot to set up my sluice. I'm going to just shovel material right on there without classifying at all. I think with dream mats you're supposed to be able to do that and still collect the gold. I know some people put a screen on it and helps classify it as the water goes over, and someday I'll get one of those. But today I'm just going to shovel dirt right on the sluice. And you just help the bigger rocks down. So you know how I'm always experimenting. I'm going to try putting a scoop on the sluice and then a scoop in my classifier, 1 for 1. See if I can really get through some material faster. So while that's going through, put another scoop on my classifier. No!
I saw it coming.
Ah, finally, down to the till. There's some glacial till, some clay right there. That might be a good sign, maybe not. Have to test and see. All right, so we got 1 bucket of classified material. We've been running material over the sluice the whole time. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean out the sluice, see how much gold we got doing it without classifying, and then run this through the sluice and see how much gold we get here. Compare the two. Let's push our last scoop through here, and then we'll clean it out. I can see black sand in all of these little pockets, so I know it's catching material. It should be catching gold if it's catching that black sand. Alright, let's see what we got. A dream mat, it hangs on to a lot of material. I've never used a different sluice mat, so I don't know how it compares to that dream mat. But I do know that it sure catches the materials. Alright, that's all the farther. I'm going to go back here. Let's see if we can find any gold. That's a nice piece, but I only see 1. That's clearly a nice piece of gold right there. But where are the rest of them?
Where's the rest?
I'm gonna do a better job of pulling it back. Pulling the black sand back is definitely a skill too. See people do that, they make it look easy. It's not as easy as it looks. I pulled it back a second time and that's a little concerning. There's 2 good flakes and a piece of lead, but I really don't see all the smaller specks that I would expect to see. So that might have been a big waste of time. Really curious to see how much gold we capture in the classified bucket. Before we run that bucket, here's our tailings. I'm gonna scoop that out, pan it down, and see if there's any lost gold that's left in here. All right, let's bare hand pan this. Wow, that water's cold. This was a bad idea. Wow. I don't see any gold in the tailings. So maybe I was just shoveling bad dirt. Now my fingers are like this. Guess what I forgot again? My scooper. I found this red little cup.
Red Solo Cup.
And that'll be my scooper today. Wow, that might be a giant piece of gold. Or it's a yellow rock. It's sitting in there like gold though. It just moved. It's still there. Holy cow. If that's a piece of gold, that's the biggest thing I've ever found. Wow. All right, just a few more scoops here. We'll clean this one out. Oh, that speck is gone. Oh no, it's not. It's still there. All right, let's clean this out. Wow, that is a piece of gold. All right, let's look at that big piece. Where is it? Wow. Oh my gosh, that is the biggest piece of gold I've ever found. Look at that. It's like a starfish. Look at my finger for comparison. See if I can pick it up. Oh my gosh, I picked it up. It's a picker. Wow. Now to be honest, I'm not seeing a lot of other smaller specks other than that big piece. There are some, but I thought there'd be more. However, that big piece right there would, if I cut it up into 100 little specks, that would still probably be more than what I normally find. Take that home and weigh it. We're gonna have to do another bucket for sure though, just in case it has friends. Oh my gosh.
Fell.
Today's video is sponsored by nothing. I don't have sponsors, but I'm gonna put these in my feet.
Hey, do you need help with that?
Hopefully they'll work their way down to my toes.
That's not going to work.
So I've been digging a pretty deep hole in here, and I just took a test pan to that deep material, and I saw 0 specks of gold. So Just because you dig deeper doesn't mean you're getting into better ground. That's why we're always taught to test, test, test. In this case, it might be that the gold is in the top part of the gravel. I'll have to do more testing to determine that. I just know that last pan down deep had nothing. But I got another bucket full, so let's sluice that out. And no, the heat warmer did not make it to my foot. It's now burning a hole in my thigh, and my foot is still cold. So I got a question for all you veterans. How many buckets do you run through your sluice before you clean it out? Because I typically clean it out after every bucket. Well, we'll see if I was shoveling blank dirt or if we got any. I'm sure we got some. Let's see if we got another picker. Gosh, these are not winter waders. My toes are really cold. I just gotta get this gold.
I'm ready to die for it.
All right, let's see if it's worth it. Not really. That whole bucket, and all I see is one tiny little microdot of gold. The whole bucket sluiced down, and all that's there is a one tiny little speck. Well, definitely not worth it to stay in this particular area. I think I'll just do a little more prospecting and test a few more spots. No gold. Well, I did a little more prospecting, and there's a few more specks here and there. I think clearly this spot has a lot of potential, but it's probably going to take a little bit more time to kind of read where the gold is dropping out and really find a good string of it. So for now, I think I'm going to go home and weigh that nugget we found. I'm calling it a nugget. Let's go weigh up our gold. All right, we're back at headquarters. We got our concentrates right here. We got our Flour Gold Wizard cleanup sluice all set up and ready to go. Let's clean up the gold. First thing I'm gonna do though is classify it with my handy dandy kitchen strainer. I want all the sand to be the same size. That took no time at all, and I'm seeing good pieces of gold in the sluice. Not a lot of them, but there's some better sized pieces than I sometimes find, so I'm excited to get it cleaned up. Before I look through that, I'm gonna quick pan out my bigs to make sure we didn't lose any nuggets. I still got that picker in there that I gotta find. Yeah, and there it is. There's that starfish one. I don't see any others though. That looks like the only one. So we rescued our picker and a few garnets. Now let's see what the flour gold shows. And that's what we got. Not a lot of pieces, but some pretty nice ones. Some nice garnets too. Those are like little rubies you find. They're not rubies. Just for funsies, I'm gonna see if my scale can weigh that picker. 0.006. Wow. Put the rest on. 0.010. It's a 0.006 gram nugget. So that picker alone is worth 51 cents. And the whole cleanup is worth 85 cents. But I got a little bit more for the vial and had a whole bunch of fun. This is an exciting spot too. If there's pickers that size, I'm sure there's more. Winter mining isn't too bad. I'll have to do some more of that. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. And please come on back for the next one.